Hey crafters, Lisa here from Fun Stuff Crafts. So glad you could join me for another Inspiration Friday. If you're new to my channel, thanks so much for stopping by. Click on the subscribe button below and click on the bell, and YouTube should alert you each time I upload a new video. I try to do an Inspiration Friday every Friday, a project that will hopefully inspire you to want to create. So this week, our Inspiration Friday project is near and dear to my heart, and it is a go-to for a baby shower gift. So why don't you give me a minute, we'll get my camera angle changed, I'll meet you in my craft room, and we are going to be making a magic hanky. Okay, crafters, so to start off this project, I want to show you the gift that I received over 28 years ago. And this was at the baby shower for my oldest son. So cute box that somebody put together to put this in, and I love the idea because I have kept it. So it's just a basic, it's a tie box actually, covered in gift wrap. And then inside of it is this poem. And the poem just makes this. And so I'm actually going to read the poem to you, and then I'm going to put a PDF link to it so you guys can also download it. The Magic Hanky. I'm just a little hanky, as square can be, but with a stitch or two, they made a bonnet out of me. I'll be worn home from the hospital or on christening day, then I'll be carefully pressed and neatly packed away. For her wedding day, so we've been told, every well-dressed bride must have something old. So what could be more fitting than to find little me, a few stitches snipped away, and a wedding hanky I'll be. And perhance it's a boy, someday he'll surely wed, so to his bride he can present the hanky he wore on his head. So I just love this poem, and inside this box is the hanky that I was given, like I said, 28 years ago. My son will be actually 28 at the end of the month, and so this is the hanky that was given to us, and you can see, if you look, it is formed into a cute little bonnet, and literally it's a few snips that can be taken away right here, and it turns into just a plain hanky. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to show you how to make this great baby shower gift that you can make and will turn into a family treasure. So to make this cute project, what we're going to start out with is a hanky, of course. Now, when my father passed away, he was a hanky guy, and so I actually kept some of his hankies. The other thing that's really fun is maybe your grandmother had some hankies, just to add a little bit more specialness to this gift. So this is just a plain one. The one that I got as a gift had some lace on it, but we're just going to make it just with this plain hanky. And I grabbed just some white ribbon, and it's just the real thin ribbon. And then I had out of my stash, I just had some ribbon with some little rosettes on it. So whatever you have, or you might want to pick it up. I stayed with a pure white theme, thinking of the christening. But you could definitely, if you know it's a girl, you know if it's a boy, you could do something a little bit blue and pink. The other thing we're going to need is we are going to need some thread. And I've already got a needle already threaded with some white thread. So we'll be using that in a moment. And then just scissors just to clip our thread. The other really important item in this project is your iron. Your iron is going to be your friend in making sure that you have all your folds done correctly. Now, I also like to use my felt pad for this. It just gives it such a nice press when you're dealing with getting something really crisp. Because that is the key to this project, is to get the hanky pressed just right so it will fold into the bonnet. So how we're going to start out with this, I've actually got my iron set on a linen setting, the hottest setting that I can get. And I am going to fold out my hanky. Now you definitely want to start with a square, just as the poem indicates. I'm just a little square. and they made a bonnet out of me. Now, this is larger than the hanky that I was given. The hanky that I was given measures about 11.5 by 11.5, and this is a little over 12 by 12. So a smaller hanky would definitely work. What you want to do is you want to fold your hanky into thirds, okay? And so just play with it so that you get your hanky completely into thirds and make it as close as possible into those thirds, okay? So that's the first thing. Take the hanky, fold it into thirds, and then we're going to give it a really good press. Now again, you guys, pressing is the key to this. So when you get ready to start your project, I would recommend you turn your iron on right away because you want it to be nice and hot. Okay, so now I've got a good press on it in thirds. So if I open my hanky back up, you can see that I've got a press line here and a press line here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to create the box corners. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take this corner, the top corner, down to the bottom third, and we are going to press along that. So we're making a triangle here, okay? Again, a really, really good press, you guys, here, okay? And then what we're going to do is open it back up, okay? And then we're going to take the other side down to that bottom third, okay? Again, got my cord in the way, another really good press. Okay, mine's going off of my mat just a little bit, so I want to make sure I get it all the way. Okay, so now we've got one of our lines. Okay, so now we need to bring the bottom up to the top, all the way up. Okay. We're going to press and only press the outside part of the triangle. You can see we've made a triangle right here. Only press that part. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and come down, and you can see now we're starting to create where our crease is going to be. Okay. And now you're going to come across this way and only press right there. Don't want to lose that other line right there at all. Okay. So now what we have is we've got where our bonnet is going to come in, okay? So what we want to do is you can fold it back down. There's a couple different ways you can do this, but I just want to bring in that corner piece, that press line, and we're going to put the other press line right there, okay? We're going to fold this one in, and we're going to do that. Okay, so let's open that back up again because this took me a little while to figure this one out, okay? So I've got my press lines coming in, right? So I like to just fold mine over and then pick it up, and it just kind of folds in place. And this is the key to having a really, really good press, you guys, okay? So now we've got that pressed how we want it. I'm going to turn it a little bit sideways on my mat so it will all fit. And guess what? We're going to press again. So like I said, you guys, the key is getting that iron really hot and a really good press. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring in our corners. Just that top part folded in this way, top part folded in that way. Okay, I'm going to give it another really good press. Now, in the gift that I was given, the hanky I was given is a little bit smaller size. And so there was not this much left on the bottom. So what I like to do is, when you're using a bigger hanky, is I'm going to flip this over, okay, and I'm going to fold this guy up. And I'm going to fold them up again. Okay, and guess what? We're going to give it a good press. Okay, so now if we bring this over, and we very carefully pick it up, you will see that we've got the beginnings of a cute little hat. But this is where your little snips come in. Excuse me, your little sewing stitches come in. Those little stitches that the poem says that it a few snips away and a hanky I will be again. So I've got my thread, and so I am going to just do a little stitch right here. And you guys, it's just enough to tack it, okay? So don't overdo it, and then just come on the other side. And I'm going through all the layers there, okay? And I'm just going to do a really quick little slip knot with my thread. Now I do have my thread doubled. Sometimes that creates more issue than it needs to. Okay. Then I'm just going to clip my thread. Oops. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is knot my needle one more time. And I'm going to put a little stitch right here also. Okay, so we're on the back side of the bonnet right now. And we're just going to do a little stitch right here. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to come over here and I'm just going to do a quick little slip knot and tie it off. Okay. So now that bonnet part's going to stay in place. Okay, so let's bring it over. And this is what is going to lift up for the hat part. So because I had to fold mine up, I'm going to put 2 more little stitches right here. And then you guys, we're going to add the ribbon and these cute little bows. And you have got yourself a very special baby gift. I'll tell you, my son, I have not been able to pass this on to him yet. But I hope to one day that he can give to his bride to carry a hanky that he wore on his head. So where I'm doing these little stitches is where I'm going to add in, oops, I got to tie that off. That's where I'm going to add in my little rosettes. So now we'll just hold this up and you guys will be able to see that we have got a cute little bonnet. Okay. So all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my ribbon that I have. And I've got a lot of ribbon here, so I've got way more than I need. But I'm just going to try to find the middle of it. And that's where I'm going to cover up where I had actually, I'm going to bring my ribbon down a little bit lower, and I'm going to put some more rosettes up there. Okay, so I'm actually going to trim this ribbon. I'll put the measurements down below for you guys on what I have. I'm not quite sure I'm eyeballing it right now. So then I'm just going to take my ribbon. I'm going to find my middle. Okay, and with that needle and thread that I have, I am going to put on the little rosettes. And that will help tie my ribbon on, or secure my ribbon to my bonnet. So if I just put right underneath where I've got the little stitch, I'm going to come from underneath. I'm going to catch my ribbon, and I'm going to catch my little rosette. Now I made one of these for my niece, for her daughter, and I will see if I can find a picture and post it. She wore it actually to her christening, and it looked cute as can be on her. And then one day she will be able to take it down the aisle when she gets married. Here we go. The poem is so special, and it just And like the poem says, it works for a baby gift for a boy or for a girl. So if you don't know what they're having, this works both ways. And I'll tell you, these little rosettes just add so much to it. This makes it for a cute little bonnet. So I'm going to go ahead and finish putting on these little rosettes, and I am going to show you what the finished product looks like. Don't have a baby to put it on. That would be kind of cute. But I've got one that's a little bit different. I'm going to tack one right here in the middle. But I will show you what the end result looks like, and I will definitely try to find a picture of my Chloe, my great niece, when she wore hers to her christening, so you guys can actually see one completed and one being worn. So I'm going to finish this off, and I will show you the finished product in just a second. And here is our finished Magic Hanky. Thanks so much for joining me for another Inspiration Friday. I hope you enjoyed this project, making this Magic Hanky. Here's a close-up of the hanky in action. This is my niece Chloe and my niece Grace. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel and click on the bell to be reminded whenever I upload a video. If you have any questions, please add it in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And don't forget to check out my blog at funstuffcrafts.com for other DIY projects.